Hey, could everyone take a seat, please? Hey guys, my name is Levi Hummel. I'm a junior at Jay County High School. I'm a football player, a wrestler, and I'm involved in campus life and obviously FCA. Now, when we become Christians, we become new people with new desires. But a lot of times we have a hard time letting go of our old self. How many of you guys have struggled with letting go of a particular sin? Because I know I have, and that's what I want to address tonight. I grew up in church. My parents took me there almost every Sunday, and they raised me with great morals. So I knew how to act outwardly all the time. I knew how to be nice to people. I knew how to not cheat on schoolwork and not curse. So looking at me on the outside and how I acted, you wouldn't think that I would struggle with some of the things that I did. But when I got into middle school, I began struggling a lot with lust and pornography. And that's probably one of the toughest battles I've ever had in my life so far. At first, I knew it was wrong, but I tried justifying it by saying, well, other people do it, it's not hurting anyone. But when I was in the 8th grade, I decided to follow Christ and get baptized. And at that point, I had to take a stand and say, this is sin. And I had to realize that it was hindering my walk with Christ. And when I did that, I tried to get away from it, but I couldn't on my own. I tried having accountability partners, and it was great, and I appreciate those friends. And I'd set up rules for myself so I couldn't be alone at certain times, but it just wasn't enough. And I was living in this really gray lifestyle where I was claiming to be a follower of Christ, but when no one was looking, I was viewing pornography. But I came across a passage in Colossians that has helped me with this struggle a lot. And it starts in chapter 2, verses 20 through 22, and it says this: "Since you died with Christ to the elemental spiritual forces of this world, why, as though you still belong to the world, do you submit to its rules? Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. These rules, which have to do with things that are all destined to perish with use, are based on merely human commands and teachings." And then in verse 23 it goes on to say that they lack any value in restraining sensual indulgence. So what Paul's saying here is that rules don't do any good in helping us with our struggles. They only attack the outward looking, which is what I had already mastered as a kid. It didn't do anything to help with my heart, which was really the root of all this sin. But if you go on in the passage to Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 and 2, it says this: "Since then you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts on things above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things." So setting our eyes on heaven is how we attack this heart problem, and we fall away from this sin. Because when we set our hearts and minds on heaven, we begin to grow farther from our sin and grow closer to God. We realize that the things that God's asking us to give up don't really satisfy us. And in the end, they're just going to destroy us. God has our best interest in mind. Everyone in this crowd tonight is struggling with something that nobody else can see. And whether that's lust, pride, or jealousy, or whatever it is, we have to realize that it's in our best interest to stop focusing on those things and let go of them, because there is freedom and satisfaction and joy in Jesus Christ. And when we understand that, we step out of these gray lifestyles we've been living in, and we start living with love and humility and compassion because of our love for God and what He's done for us. But when we're focused on our problems, we lose sight of where we're going. Vince Lombardi put it this way. He said, "Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off the goal." So tonight, if you're wrestling with a sin or a situation, I want you to stop focusing on it. I want you to focus on your goal, Jesus Christ. Realize how much of a truly fulfilling life that you can have when you focus on Him and everything that He's done for you. Thank you.